What is up, YouTube? Shiver the Kid here, or Shiver, or maybe even better yet, Shivy. Sounds more catchy. Nah, I'm just kidding, it's Shiver. Alrighty, so let's go on to this battle. Now, he leads off his Gavantula. I lead off with my Sableye. In the Link battle, I saw that he had a Gavantula on his team, and I knew he was going to lead off with that. So I go with my Sableye, and I go for a taunt, expecting a Thunder Wave or a Sticky Web, either or. He does go for the Thunder Wave, and he goes for a Sucker Punch this time. So now, I mean, I didn't go for an attack. I went for a status move, so that is why his Sucker Punch failed. Now, I believe this time he does go for another Sucker Punch, and this time he does land it because I go for a Nightshade, just trying to bring down his damage, or down his health already. More or less, this Gavantula can't touch me at all. I didn't really want to switch out either. I mean, just wanted to try to get some damage on him already. So this time I do know he's gonna go for a Sucker Punch this time, so I switch out. No, actually I go for a taunt again, just in case he was wanting to set up. Now he does go for a Thunder Wave this time, and a taunt counters it, so now he can't set up at all this time. So now I do switch out, and knowing that he's gonna go for a Sucker Punch, so I switch out. I believe into, who do I switch out? I believe into my Toxicroak. That's right, my Toxicroak. So now this Toxicroak really wants to take out this little bug of his, so I go for he goes for a Sucker Punch, and I knew that was going to give me a free turn in, knowing that he was going to go for a Sucker Punch. So this time I do go for a Sucker Punch. Now I'm not sure why I went first. Maybe he didn't go for an attack move this time. Maybe he went for, probably that's why he probably went for, no, honestly I actually don't know why. I mean, he is faster than me and everything, so I'm not sure why I went first. Now as Archeops comes out and uses Pluck, I barely live it with 10 HP. I take out this little cracker with an Ice Punch right to the face, and that knocks it out straight away. So that's Archeops out the way. Wasn't a major threat to me. Wasn't really. I knew my Toxicroak could live it, just barely, just enough, just to take it out. Now he switches into his big old snowman here. I'm not sure. Honestly, I do make a dumb play. This battle could have been shorter than what it was, because Omni Snowman is weak to fighting type, but I'm not sure what I did. I don't know why I did it. I switch out and I switch into my Ludicolo. Now his Abono Snowman, or however you want to pronounce his freaking name, I just call him Mr. Snowman. He goes for the Mega, now he's like 2 times large Snowman. And he goes for an Ice Shard, does decent damage to my Ludicolo. My Ludicolo is more of a special defense, not a defense. So I'm starting to get hurt also by neutral damage off of his Snow Warning, the Hailstorm. So now I do believe I go for, I knew he was going to switch out. I think I go for Rain Dance. Yes, I do go for Rain Dance. Not a great idea. I mean, I am faster now than his Gyarados, but this also gave his Gyarados time to set up, as what you're going to see about now. So he goes for a Dragon Dance. Now, literally, I can't really do anything to his Gyarados because it is Dragon and it is Water type. And so, I mean, the Dragon counters the Grass type of the weakness. So, I mean, literally, I can't do anything there. So also there is a Rain Dance up. I was faster, but now that he has a Dragon Dance up, it does bring up his attack and speed. So now he is faster than me, I believe, by this turn already. So now I know I can't really do anything more to him. I mean, basically it's just he got me on check. So I switch into my Gavantula. Now here I was going for a Thunder, but his Gyarados goes for another Dragon Dance, now bringing up his speed and attack even more. Now he does outspeed my Gavantula this time. He goes for an Ice Fang. Literally destroys my little buggy here, man. I went for Thunder. I would have landed the Thunder and not got to Flinch. His freaking Gyarados would have been sent to hell already. But no. So now he also is Moxie. So on top of that, 2 Dragon Dances and that knockout, his attack is already getting up way up high. I kind of already felt I was going to start losing here. I mean, felt like I was going to get swept here. I really didn't know what to do now. He goes for another Ice Fang. I was hoping maybe my Goodra would live, which it does, and I knew I was going to get that weakness policy off of that Ice Fang. I live with 1 HP. I do bring down his Gyarados speed, which is good. You'll see why later on in the battle. Now, I got frozen. On top of that, I would have been able to take out this Gyarados if it wasn't for that freeze, and I would have gone for my Thunderbolt on my Goodra. He goes for the Hydro Pump, so literally nothing's turning out my way right now. First a Flinch, then the freeze with 1 HP. I mean, no goodie. This Gyarados is just being an ass to me today. So this time I do send into my Durant, and on top of that he does have his attack. 4 times attack now. I do outspeed him because of my Goodra with its gooey ability. It does bring down its Gyarados speed. I'm able to outspeed and I go for a Thunder Fang this time, and I'm able to finally get rid of that freaking it's getting on my nerves already, honestly. So I'm able to bring down his Gyarados. He switches out to his Duxnear. Can't really do nothing to Duxnear because it is in defense and my Durant is an attacker. So I switch out and I go into my Sableye, knowing a Will-O-Wisp is coming. So I take that Will-O-Wisp. Don't matter if my Sableye gets a Will-O-Wisp. He's like, what the hell, you know? I dig that. That's cool. That's cool. So my Sableye does take the Will-O-Wisp, and I go ahead and I believe I go for a Nightshade this time. Yeah, no, he withdraws his Duxnear. Sorry about that. So switches out his Duxnear. He goes for his Donphan. I go for a Nightshade, expecting it to take the Duxnear, but no, it goes for the Donphan, which is alright. It does neutral damage as well. It's alright. It does some good damage. So I'm not sure what he was planning to do, but I do go for Will-O-Wisp because Donphans are usually straight up attackers, you know, not special attackers. So I wanted to bring that damage down, you know, half his damage attack. So I'm able to, and he goes for a Rock Slide. Now, Rock Slide does flinch Pokemon, but in this case, it doesn't really matter to Sableye because he has Prankster ability. So even if he did get a flinch, he always moves first if it's a status move. So now, honestly, here, it really was just a stall battle. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He could have switched out, you know, I mean, maybe he didn't want to switch out and risk a Will-O-Wisp landing on his Duxnear or any other of his pokes, which I believe it's only Duxnear and his Donphan right now. So I guess he had no other option to stay in the battle, so it turns into a stall battle, honestly. We're both burned, but on my side, I do got recover and leftovers. He doesn't have no status recovery moves, so he's dying down from his burn, and I go for Nightshade attacks just to boost. I actually go for recover, actually, just to keep my Sableye from dying. He goes, so honestly, I mean, he had no other moves to hurt me either as well. I mean, basically, it was either he was scarfed and he was stuck into, you know, either he was banded or scarfed and he was stuck into Rock Slide, or, you know, that's the only move he had that could hurt me. So he goes for another Rock Slide. I don't get flinches at all. So, I mean, and like I said, it doesn't matter if I got flinched or not. I'll always move first since I do got status moves on my Sableye. So now he's about to die off of this burn. 2 more turns and I believe he'll be out. He'll faint off this burn. So now I go for another recover. Honestly, it's just like you can see here, it's just a stall. I mean, nothing really to say here. I mean, just this rolling big old elephant wants to use this Rock Slide. Honestly, you know, Dolphin is a pretty cool Pokemon if used right. You know, I mean, I remember it was my first Pokemon when I saw it in the first gen. It was second first gen. I was like, dang, I wish that Pokemon would love to have one of those Donphans. I love the way it's, you know, I love its design. It looks like an epic elephant, you know. So, this is the turn. He does die to his burn after this Rock Slide. Now, honestly, I mean, this would annoy me if I was the Donphan on the other side. This Sableye just staying in battle. I mean, I could have switched out, gone to a Toxicroak, but then again, I mean, what's the point? My Toxicroak would just get knocked out from a Rock Slide, so didn't want that. So his Donphan is finally down, and he switches into his Duxnear, his Abno Snowman, excuse me, his other Pokemon. Now, his Abno Snowman would have been long gone dead if I went for a Drain Punch on that turn instead of switching out my Toxicroak. This is another stall on the battle. I wish I could fast forward this, which I believe I am going to, actually. So, goes for an Ice Beam, almost takes me up. Then I get that damage off that Hellstorm. I go for, I go for Will-O-Wisp. And this is where he gets burned and his HP starts going down slowly off the burn. I go for another recover. And I'm actually going to stop it here and fast forward to this part. Alright, so I fast forward to the part where I switch out to my Ludicolo. Kind of think Ludicolo looks like a Mexican to me. Look at him dancing. Now I am Mexican, more Hispanic, but he just reminds me of he's doing La Bamba, you know, bitty bitty La Bamba. So, anyways, basically Ludicolo's gonna go for a Giga Drain here just to hurry up and speed up the process of bringing down his his health. I didn't want to switch into my Toxicroak because I knew anything I switched into would knock out my Toxicroak, since my Toxicroak is on low HP already at 10 or 20 HP, I believe. So I didn't want to risk that because I do need my Toxicroak later on in the battle. So his Abominable Snowman goes for a Wood Hammer. Basically, he's destroying himself by recoil and on top of the burn. So it didn't matter to me that I lose my Ludicolo. Ludicolo was just to speed up the process with the Giga Drain, even though I didn't do that much. Now, his Abominable Snowman has one more chin before it dies to burn. So my Sableye decided just to go for the recover, just to bring up more HP, just so I can get his health back up on top notch. His Abominable Snowman does go for a Wood Hammer this time, and he's gonna die from his own recoil this time, hurting himself at the same time. Goodbye, Mr. Snowman. That's out of the way. So now my Sableye is gonna go for another recover, I believe, or I believe I forgot. I'm not sure what move I went for actually. Let's go ahead and look. Let's see. Let's see what Mr. Sableye would like to do. The Sneer comes out, his last and only pumpkin Pokemon. So he goes for a Shadow Sneak actually. I did go for a Nightshade this time actually, and surprisingly I lived by 12 HP. It's like, oh, thank goodness. Didn't really matter. I get some damage off his Dust Sneer, and this time I forgot what I was doing. I know he's gonna go for another Shadow Sneak, and I did live by the burn thanks to my leftovers. Now he goes for a Shadow Sneak this time, takes out my Sableye, and now it's a 2 versus 1 battle right now. I still got 2 pokes and I have my Toxicroak. Now I knew Dustin was weak to Dark type and I had Sucker Punch on. I knew he was gonna go for a Shadow Sneak, so I go for a Sucker Punch, KOing out his Dustin, ending the battle. Now it was a good battle. I enjoyed it. It could have been short or long. It was long because of the switch at the beginning of the game when I got what's that word I'm looking for? When I got typed up against Abominable Snowman with my Toxicroak. If I would have gone for Drain Punch, the battle probably would have ended like 3 minutes ago or 4 or 5 minutes ago. But other than that, it was a good battle, and I hope to battle you again, Fidel. If y'all can just leave a comment, if y'all can just actually subscribe, comment, and like, as they say, and probably follow me on Twitter if you want to battle me or not. I do battles daily, usually after I'm off of work or on weekends when I'm off. Anytime between 3 to 10 p.m. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next video.